I go from having a chance to bubble Smallwood and, maybe a chance to win. I mean, that's, where we're at, to having zero chance of cashing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks, Tom. Thanks for bringing that up, the memory there, Jimmy.
How did Mike? That had nothing to do with you.
Well, you said, would you ever want to bowl on a team with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did once, not anymore.
Yeah, EJ just exposed it a little bit more to the right. Got it over there to 7, 8, 9, and the ball came off.
Here on game number 4, PBA Mike Aulby Nevada Classic, sponsored by Pilgrim. We've just kicked off our free live looking out on YouTube here in game number 4. Elimination round number 1. A warm welcome to all our Bowl TV viewers and Facebook audience as we continue live coverage of the 2025 Mike Aulby Nevada Classic. Once this game is over, we'll head back to exclusive coverage on Bowl TV where you can catch all the action. I'm Craig Aulby alongside Jimmy Callahan and PBA Hall of Famer Tom Hess here tonight. Calling the action as we're down to the final couple of games. EJ Tackett falls out of the lead for the first time in quite a while. Andrew Anderson, just to his right, is the man in the lead right now. Andrew having a fantastic year here in 2025. I think hands down right now, comeback player of the year, Jimmy.
New ball company, changed over from one to SBI products. The balls have matched up well. He led the U.S. Open. He had a chance to win. EJ beat him for the title. So, man, his confidence is sky high right now. So, again, this week, you know what? He hasn't been flashy, but he's been steady. He's averaging, 235 to 240, hanging around, and now all of a sudden he's in the lead.
Yeah, just one game under 200 for Andrew through 21 games here in this Nevada Classic. And the big change for him, you said making a company change. About 11 years since he threw SPI products. 11 years.
When he was a kid, he used to throw them all the time.
Yeah, but he's still a kid, right? But
yeah,
still, it's been quite a while since he did it. So he made the change seamlessly. Obviously, a smart bowler. He works at Turbo Tech. He does lessons. He's up on the equipment, but not having a chance to really throw them and see what they do for you, right, hasn't phased him a bit.
And the shape is very different in Storm Products, and he was with Motive before.
Yep.
So the shape of those two balls is very different. So I give him a lot of credit for being able to adapt to those new products, and you know what? He's been great. He's, he gets along with all the ball reps. Rob Gottschall, Tim Mack, and they're doing great. They're on all cylinders right now.
Well, Andrew, very experienced player, right? Former Player of the Year, Masters champion. He bowled collegiately, at Davenport of Michigan, also at Weber, Team USA. So he's got tons and tons of experience, and it's all clicking for him here in 2025. Another Michigander there, Tom Smallwood, having a pretty solid year as well. Very consistent season for Smalls. But EJ Tackett having another one of those Player of the Year seasons.
Definitely so.
And Graham Foss. We've got everybody right here who's been bowling great this year. Graham's having a fantastic year. Andrew, EJ, Smallwood, Jesper on the front 5.
Guy that's bowled good for the last 12 years, 15 years.
Yeah.
Balmo.
The guy from Australia.
And you got the youngster, Alec Keppinger, with the front 5.
Leader after what, round 2?
Yeah.
Out of the PTQ. Oh, our pre-tournament qualifier.
It's a big break right there for Graham. This is the spot in the first round that he struggled. He bowled 570 or so for 3 games. And then last night he made those adjustments, bowled well last night. So him and Jesper both with the front. He's got front 6 now, Jesper with the front 5. You know what? They have to put their foot on the gas right now. They can't fall behind too far with no bonus pins. It's only score, so they can't let them get away. So right now, these last 3 games, these guys are going to have to put their foot on the pedal and go from there.
And a very nasty 9-pin from our round 1 leader, also out of the PTQ, Ethan Fiore.
Kids that come, or keep your eye out for him. He's gonna win a title one day. There's not many titles, I think.
And Ethan's been out here for a little while. He spent a lot of time out here at PTQ, and last year we've seen him, but this year he's committed. He's traveling week to week, right, in a motorhome. He's out here full time. Of course, they flew out here to Reno, but he's in a motorhome, committing to bowl each and every week and showing us a lot of different things he can do and do them quite well.
I got to tell you, motorhome's the only way that he could really be here because the kid's a sleeping machine. The word on the street is all the kid does is sleep when he's not bowling. So He's only got to walk about 100 yards,
I hear some jealousy in your voice.
Oh, I'm a sleeping machine myself. No. But I'm just saying, that's why they're staying in a motorhome, because if he's in a hotel, he might be late a couple times. Kep got it going on right now. Six-bagger. Alec Keppinger. Second-generation bowler. Son of PWBA and USBC Hall of Famer Sandra Jo Shirey.
So we talked about the top 4. They're all here on Channel 5. Andrew Anderson, E.J. Tackett, Tom Smallwood, Alec Keplinger. 5th, Sean Lavery Spar. Ethan Fiore in 6th. Prather 7th. Graham Fa 8th. Belmo and Svensson, the top 10. So this is our group of leaders right here. Top 16 make it to the next round, which will be at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. For those of you out there watching on YouTube, go to bowltv.com to get subscription information if you'd like to watch more professional bowling. And we have plenty of it coming your way with the World Series of Bowling 16 starting on Tuesday from the National Bowling Stadium. There's old Grammy Fa mixing them up.
Textbook style right there. One of the hotter players on tour this year. Has already won a title in Delaware this year. And yeah, he's hot as fire. Front 7 for him. Kep with the front 6, same pair. Jesper just missed. He had the front 5, so.
Yeah, it's been 9 years since Graham won, too.
Yeah.
9-year drought there.
He won in Columbus. He won the Players.
And I believe it was his first tour stop.
Correct, it was.
So, and we talked to him. He got that validation in Delaware, and then he's still bowling good since then. So,
yep.
It's that confidence, right? You talked about that. He's got the confidence back. Knows he belongs again. Great shot from EJ.
The thing that I talked about 5 minutes ago was EJ had to get a little bit farther to the right. And if you notice, he's getting over there to that 7, 8, 9 range to get it to come off of there. So Jason getting it to that same spot. Oh, wow.
Moved the 10.
Pushed it over.
That was dirty.
Yeah. You know who else was on that show when Graham Fa won? The guy that just bowled on lane 13, Jesper Svensson, at Wayne Webb's Columbus Bowl. That was a Players' Championship.
And it'll be the home of the PBA 60 World Series this summer.
Awesome.
Wayne Webb's Columbus.
That's cool. Tell you what, they fill those 60 and overs. It's amazing how many bowlers are 60 years old to come out and bowl those things.
Well, that center
time.
packs the place, too. They get great fan support down there as well.
It's during the 4th of July as well, so there's going to be – Wayne will take care of all the bowlers like he always does. You know, there'll be food in the bar for all the players. I'm sure have a big barbecue and all kind of stuff going on. And Wayne Webb's a great host.
His spaghetti dinner's top-notch.
Yeah.
Tell you what, yeah.
And you know what? That guy's one of the – you talk about great bowlers. The green machine right there, Wayne Webb was – talk about straight arm swing. Wayne Webb had it.
And here in around the third, too, we've got every pair wired on Bowl TV. Take a quick run around and look at Graham Fa striking one more time. Get out of there. All right, Graham Fa's not going to strike yet, but he will strike more today. Keplinger got a string going. So Channel 2, Jacob Butler, Sean Lavery Spar, Darren Tang, and Chris Prather.
Lanes 3 and 4, we have Matthew Ogle, Hayden Stipich, Thomas Larson, and A.J. Johnson.
Couple single pin misses for Stipich. Remember those couple of pins when we get towards that cut of the top 16.
Missed one last game too, by the way.
Prather off and open, goes a little bit high again, bouncing over to Channel 3, lanes 5 and 6. We got Kyle Troop, Nick Pate, Tomas Kauka, and Sam Cooley.
On 7 and 8, we got Bailey Maverick, Francois Lavoie, the birthday boy, Eric Jones, youngster, and Mitch Hoope.
And how about Bailey, front 7? Keep an eye on that as we go across the center.
I forgot, Canadian teammates, Mitch Hoope and Francois Lavoie. I missed that.
Eric Jones, one of the rising stars on the left side of the lane out of the Southwest region. Channel 4, Tim Foy Jr. has made 3 shows this year. Chris Sloan, A.J. Chapman, Jason Sterner.
And on 11 and 12, we have Sean Rash, recently inducted into the PBA Hall of Fame. Bug Kroll, Patrick Hanrahan, and Justin Knowles. The only pair that has 2 lefties on it.
And Packy got in via roll-off in 30 seconds, made a run. Only a couple spots out of the top 16 with a couple to go. And here's our final channel, back to Jesper and company. So we got Keplinger on front 7. And as people come in, just want to give a big shout out and thank you for tuning in to our free look in here on YouTube. And remember, we've got a few more frames to go here, but if you'd like to watch more bowling, we've got more coverage tomorrow, 11 o'clock Central in the morning. And, of course, the World Series of Bowling kicks off next Tuesday. Over 200 games spanning about 3 weeks here at the National Bowling Stadium between PBA World Championship, 4 annual patterns, PBA Junior, National Championships, all part of your subscription. If you'd like to subscribe and be a member of Bowl TV.
Great shot by Kep.
We welcome you all. And front 8 for Alec Keplinger. So, you know, we saw Ethan Fiore with a little struggle last night, bounce back. Keplinger with his struggle early, he's bouncing back nicely. To me, that's pretty big to see what he's done here this afternoon after the way he ended earlier.
They're 2 kids.
Yeah.
You know, they're both in the early 20s. You know, Alec's been on tour. This is his 2nd full year. Ethan bowled the World Series last year and bowled some other events off and on. But these are 2 young kids, and to see them back, jump back after a couple rough games, it's good to see. I mean, I think the future for the PBA is very bright with the young players that are out.
And Jim Callan here with me, Craig Elliott in the booth tonight. You've seen players that would finish like Kep did earlier, and they're done, right? Phone it in, strong mental side here from Alec.
Yeah,
and that comes from his lineage, obviously, right? He's,
I'm gonna tell you, his mother was one of the toughest competitors there was. Sandra Joe, she was tough. And his girlfriend, in case out there everybody doesn't know, fiance now actually, is Hope Gramley, PWBA superstar.
Another member of our group here tonight. We have PBA Hall of Famer Tom S. Laneside joining us today as well for all you out there in YouTube land.
Graham Fa just keeps hanging around. You know, he's going to bowl 270. Got a chance to bowl 270 again. And I think right now what we've seen, EJ didn't have a very good look for about 13 or 14 frames. I think he identified after watching Smalls and Ethan just getting that ball a little bit farther right, so he could see the friction. And he's done it, and he had a 5-bagger, so. Kep
keeps striking. So, Jimmy, we play different games. If I gave you the game starting this round here, these 8 players for a low game, take Belmo or the field. 0 chance you're taking Belmo.
Yeah, not very often.
But he's going to have a low game here out of this group.
Maybe. He could still beat Smalls. Smalls could go spare strike for 224.
Yeah, get it by a stick.
Yeah.
But some good scores here, and when they're striking like this, you would expect Belmo to be part of that party.
Yeah. 7-10, he didn't like that very much. See how Ethan, and if you watch, one consistent thing you'll see as we went across the pairs, and we're going to stay here for a second or two, is that everybody's ball is getting to the same spot on the lane. They're all down the lane. They're all getting to 6, 7, 8. That's where their ball is shape of it. And if they miss it in, it hooks. And if they get too steep and get away from that 6, 7, 8, 9, it's not going to strike. EJ had it last game. Now he's dialed in. That was slow, and he got around it. That wasn't a good shot.
Slow off his hand. Yeah, I saw
slow and around it.
He might look a little confused, but we could see
that
from here easily that was slow.
I got to tell you, Andrew's bowling great. He's catching some breaks too. This game, he rolled run around, and that's what it takes.
Well, but also, Jimmy, to get breaks, you have to be in the right part of the lane too, right? You're not going to get those breaks if you're not playing the lanes.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm telling you, Ethan Fiore is impressive, boy. 250, another day at the office like we talked about. 6 major champions on these 2 pairs. And then the runner-up for Rookie of the Year, and then you got Ethan, who's a kid. So how do you think he's going? He's got EJ on his left, and he steps up, and Belmo's on his right, and he's 20, 21, 22 years old. He's not folding up. If you look, he threw the back 6, and we talked about finishing games. The guys that are the champions, they always finish the games. Jesper can still strike out for 250. How's the scores on these 2 pairs?
Yeah, pretty solid the last couple games, no doubt about that.
And 15 and 16 hasn't been a great pair all week. It's been okay, but it's see like that.
But still, he's keeping in place, so you're going to get some. He's getting. It appears to be more than average right now, but again, he's in the right part of the lane.
You make your own breaks,
supposed to do, and it's good fortune.
Look at Jesper, a little frustrated. He knew that was a game he could get a lot of score. Made a couple bad shots.
He's still going to get 250s with another strike, but again, it's top 4 score.
Yeah, knowing him, that he knows when he can get a score on a pair, he's frustrated if he doesn't get 270. That's how positive he is. Wally 5'7" right there. Dick Weber for EJ Tackett. Balls, look at that. Oh, there it is. See that one? The slow slap to 10. I think he might be looking at something different.
257 for EJ, 246 for Andrew. EJ gets the lead back.
How's that top? 250. What's that? 259, 257, 258, 246 for if you run across the top. That's pretty strong. And then Jesper's going to bowl 250 under it.
Yeah, and then Keplinger with 300 pounds as well.
Belmo's the albatross on these 2 pairs, like you said. I got a feeling he's going to be close to striking out here.
See, you got that down. The ball didn't bounce, balance.
Posted it up.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
All right. But he's not been posting every shot tonight.
I was lucky enough to deal with him for, the majority of his career. He's he's fantastic. Like I said, my opinion, he's the greatest bowler of all time.
Francois Lavoie, 1 shot away from an 11-bagger of his own for 290.
Only person to bowl 300 so far.
Yeah.
Francois Lavoie, the birthday boy.
Keplinger, 4, was his number 10?
Got it in a little. Oh. That just you got this big sails and it just goes, you get a balloon and it just pops it and you just fly away. It's terrible. I'm going to tell you, I would go out on, not a limb, but Jason's going to strike here. Yeah. He finishes games. That's what he's done. He's done his whole career.
All right, Kep, just make it then.
He's got the speed to do it. We talked about it earlier.
He does.
One time, Kep. One time. Oh!
Jason Belmonte finishing with 225.
Ball change. That ball got a little farther down the lane. I don't know what that was, but it definitely got through there a little farther. I think Jay's going to stick with the optimum idle. Gets to make the turn here.
Yeah, so I'm sitting down here with Brunswick Tour rep Jason Wojnar, and I was talking to him about Kep and how he struggled at the end this morning, and he was having a lot of thumb issues this morning, and tonight he's got that taken care of, and that's the big reason for the turnaround. Kept looking really comfortable, and I expect him to keep bowling good tonight.
Well, it's his second 266, also 255 and 229. And he's going to go around Tom Smallwood. He's going to jump to third. Tackett back in lead. Andrew Anderson will be in second. Smallwood, I believe, will jump for fall to fourth, depending on what Sean Lavery-Spire did in game number 4. 2 games to go here before we make this cut to the top 16. And we're going to do a little extra bonus coverage for our fans with the live look in here on YouTube. I'm going to give you another chunk of game number 5 here. Some extra coverage for you. So again, if you like what you're watching, take the chance. Subscribe to Bowl TV right now, bowltv.com. Subscription plans out there for you to check out.
Packy's in a spot here where he needs to get this one to have a chance to get up in there with 2 to go. He's made a long run. He was 30 under going into last evening. Then he said he bowled 175 over, 250 over last night, and he started today with 270, 230. So that's a big shot right there. He knows it too.
Yeah, he's working on that parlay, taking advantage of the opportunities.
Yep.
And moving on up.
Him and Graham doing close to the same thing, throwing it pretty straighter than most of the lefties.
It's going to be a clean 220s for Sir Patrick Hanrahan. I think the low game of the day for AJ after what do you say, 794 start?
Yes, sir. Justin Knowles hasn't had a great look tonight. Trying to think who had the best look on the left tonight. Probably Packy, right?
Yeah, Packy.
Hasn't been great for any of them, actually.
You know, Packy, 278, 237, 206, and now 220s. But yeah, Stippich, 225, 236, 247. What'd Hayden do this game? 183. Yeah. So.
That's what I mean. I don't think they're pair to pair. They're tricky. I thought Stippich would have the best look tonight based on, looking at the cross sheet, which is who follows who. And, he's got the least amount of players in front of him. His last game, Game 6, is going to be tough for Stippich because he follows 5 lefties that have been in front of him.
So basically all of them.
Every game he had one.
There's 6 lefties. He's going to follow
all of them. Correct.
Yeah.
I thought Eric Jones would bowl a little better tonight. He got stuck the second game behind Jesper and really hasn't got any momentum going again.
Recovered from that.
No.
How about Ogle, 250s again. Larson, 250s again.
Man, I'd love to know if Thomas is still playing out. We haven't really seen him in a game and a half or so.
Yeah, I can't see where we're sitting. There's so many people in front of us. And again, when I said there's 3 or 4 deep here, let's go 5, 6, or 7 deep here, fans watching in the building.
Oh, it's awesome.
Great to see here. Coconut Bowl at Wild Island here. What are we, south of the National Bowling Stadium?
We are east of it.
I just get in your car and we get here. I don't know how we get here.
Yeah. Chauffeur Jim, that's what they call me. Gets the front seat, too. He makes Hess sit in the back.
It's got to be faster.
Make the Hall of Famer sit in the back. It's got to
be faster. That's all there is to it. Got to be quick.
And we'll probably get a peek at him this game. The thing that's interesting about Thomas Larson, he's playing considerably to the right, or he was, relative to all the players who now are in where Sean Lavery Spar is. So he was playing right of 5 the whole time. So it'll be interesting to see if he's still playing there because he just bowled a big game again.
Yeah, Buttriff 245 got a chance to jump back in. He was 27 out of the number in 17th. Sean's going to give a little bit back to the leaders. He was in 5th. He's probably going to fall out of the top 5, but still well in the top 16. Some big scores from all the players inside that number. Makes it tough for the guys to make a move that are not in the top 16 to get there. As we've got 2 to go now. Wrapping up game 4 of the 6-game block round of 32.
EJ seems to have the right shape back now.
Yeah.
EJ could grab 2 big ones here.
He doesn't lose it for long. Right?
No.
It's pretty rare.
Very observant too. He's always looking. I think that's a key thing for, the people watching that, hey, you got to, if you don't have a good look around. You have people that can help you.
Jim, the one thing I kind of noticed with EJ, especially over last year, is he'll have that one bad game. And then he'll go back to his 240s, 250s, where, we talk about Belmo. Belmo, 2-0, 2-teen, 2-0, 2-teen, 2-0. Where EJ, 260, 250, 160, 250. Consistency is great, 2-0, 2-teen, but for Belmo as an example there, obviously he's not seeing something when he's doing that, right? Where EJ, he just, had one bad game, maybe a couple bad shots, got a bad pair, and then strikes the rest of the time.
I think when you're player of the year 2 years in a row, that loosens your swing up a little bit too.
100%.
And Jason hasn't had the last couple of years, he's made a bunch of shows, but he hasn't won very much. He's on the show this weekend for the doubles. Everybody make sure they watch that. with Bill O'Neill.
Is that Saturday or Sunday? Let me take.
I'm not sure.
So we let everybody know about that.
Jesper airmailed that one to the left, and it flew off and struck.
(1 p.m. Eastern Time, 2nd of March. That's 10 o'clock out here.
Yeah.
So you can watch bowling and then take your nap.
Sunday, I'll be at a baseball card show. There's a big one in Vegas.
Well, make sure they put Fox on FS1.
Tell you, Fox does a great job. Ethan Fiore's feeling a little bit now. I got a little fist pump that time.
So in addition to all the bowl TV coverage over the next several weeks at the National Bowling Stadium, how about March 15th, a live show. The Mike Aulby Nevada Classic Final, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. March 16th, another live show on FS1. Scorpion Championship. March 17th, what do you think that's going to be, Jim?
More bowling.
Another live show on FS1. Viper. The 18th,
More bowling.
Chameleon, live on FS1. The 19th,
More bowling.
Shark, FS1. 20th.
More bowling.
No, we're off till the 22nd.
Why you throw me the curveball there, man? I don't have it in front of me.
World Series of Bowling World Championship, Saturday, March 22nd, 3 p.m. will be live on Big Fox. But what is that?
A lot of
1,
days.
2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive days of live bowling
Every
on
night.
FS1.
Look in front of here. Newly minted Hall of Famer Sean Rash bowling on lane 2. Off to a good start in 3 and 4. They got 7 strikes in a row. What did you call it when they get 12 in a row and it's with 4 people?
Oh, Baker.
Baker. Okay.
Tell you what, PBA staff, Tony Lanning, George Abu, they're on top of it. We've got scores already after 4. EJ Tackett plus 8-14, 3 pins ahead of Andrew Anderson. Alec Keplinger in 3rd. Ethan Fiore 4th. Smallwood 5th. Graham Foss 6th. Sean Lavery Spar falls to 7th. Jesper 8th. Prather, Thomas Larson, Jason Belmonte, Matt Ogle, AJ Chapman, Tomas Kauka, Jacob Buttriff, and Hayden Stippich now plus 589, 226.77 average. And Darren Tang falls out of the number with 181, but he's only 6 pins out.
Tom kept it alive, the Baker with the brook right there. The Brooklyn went there. Rolled it on. Kep's ball just split the 8-9 again.
And you heard some cheering earlier. That was Francois Lavoie, 289. He's at 558 now. The birthday boy making a little run today.
EJ's not going to miss many times these next 2 games. He's got the right shape now. You can see his ball, changing direction down lane and not going crazy off the back.
Well, and you also don't expect him to give up the lead twice in the block either.
No.
You gave it up once. You ain't going to give it up again. If somebody wants it, they're going to have to come and get
They're
it.
going to take it. Be interesting how Packy bowls on that pair because that's the pair that Jesper started on. And Packy, when he has to fight the front part of the lane, he tends to leave a lot of 7 pins, which he started out leaving there.
Well, Packy in 20th right now, plus 537, 62 out of the number with 2 to go.
Yeah. Can't miss too many times with that kind of gap.
So he was 89 out and 32nd starting this block. He's in 20th, but he's 52 out.
Yeah.
So he passed a lot of players, passed some bodies, but not making up all those pins.
And he bowled good tonight.
He's bowling good. It just shows you that the players in the number, they're bowling well.
And when you look at it, there's a lot of quality players in the top 32. It's hard to go around all these guys. Look right in front of us here. I mean, you got Smalls as a major champion. Jesper's a major champion. Boog was, he won the playoffs last year for $100,000. You got Sean Rash, who's won multiple majors. I mean, and this is a different pair than we looked at last game to the left that had 6. So you have even more. I mean, if you go through the list here, the fields are so deep here. It's so difficult to win. That's what EJ is doing is incredible. Winning 2 out of the events so far this year, been in the shows. I mean, there's a good chance he's going to make the show again because there's no bonus pins here. So it ends up where he's going to be there again.
8 players in top 16 have won at least 1 major.
That's incredible. They're stats that when you watch bowling, you go, man, it gives you an appreciation of how great the players are on tour. Frankie slow wheel. That was very slow. Very slow. I'm happy for my man Chris Sloan. He's had a good week here. Get a paycheck for him. Young Irish lad. Eric Jones starting out strong on this pair. Triple.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Chris Sloan's going to make it into the top 16. He's at plus 505. Puts him 84 out of the number with 2 to go. And a lot of people to pass as well. So his chances are starting to dwindle a little bit. But as you said, a pretty solid event for Chris Sloan.
Yeah, good for him. You know,
leading in the World
hard
Series,
worker.
right? Something you can build on, a little momentum going into next week. And again, this next couple of weeks, it's a big part of the tour season. We had 5 title events before this week. We've got 6 title events over 3 weeks here.
Crazy.
Yeah.
This is going to make or break a lot of seasons this next,
Well, not just season for next year. You could get yourself a job for next year with a good couple of weeks in Reno.
You could make enough money to last a year, or you know what? You could fall short of expectations and not. Then you got to go bowl the tour trials.
There's that too. There's that too. Something else we'd like to do, we announced it earlier, we'll do a quick look in again. Our viewer of the day here on Bold TV, open to everybody watching here that are subscribers. Just click on that tab, third from the right, fill out the form. Viewer of the day today is Michael Wolf, Newberry Park, California. Favorite bowler, Jason Belmonte. Loves holiday lighting displays, roller skating, tennis, and biking. And if he won $1 million, he'd pay off the mortgage.
Holiday lighting
Michael
displays. That's an interesting one. Can he pay off his mortgage with that $1 million?
California. What part of California he lives?
I don't know where Newberry Park is. I think that's Southern California, actually. I should know that. It was my territory for a long time. Not really sure. That's some interesting hobbies, though. Holiday lighting displays, roller skating, tennis, and biking. So he's an outdoor guy, basically. Likes to do some outdoor things. Craig, what would you do with $1 million?
You know what? That's a great question. Southern California, around Santa Barbara.
Add it to your other 10?
Probably, yeah. Just add it to portfolio.
If that's anywhere near Santa Barbara, $1 million may not be enough.
Honestly, what I would do, I would make sure all the kids have a house.
Yeah. I'd give a lot to charity.
Not saying they're all going to get a very big house because there's 6 of them.
Yeah.
They're going to get a house.
I think I would give back to a bunch of charities. And, you know, I had a heart attack about 12 years ago, so I'd give some to the American Heart Association and then give back to bowling that we had. You know, this morning we did a little contest with John Nakashima where him and I had a little bet and give money to Hall of Fame and just give back. I mean, I've been very lucky. I've had a great life. And, yeah, that $1 million, I'd give it away.
Something else you could do with that $1 million, Jimmy? Make a little donation to the official charity of the Professional Bowlers Association, which is
BVL.
Let's take a little minute to get a message from our friends at BVL.
Bowlers to Veterans Link. Our message is simple, to brighten the lives of veterans each day. But bowling isn't all BVL has to offer veterans. From surfing to fly fishing, VR, and more. Bowling is one of America's greatest sports, and bowlers have a great heart for veterans and the sacrifices they made by watching over us. Without our veterans, none of us could enjoy the freedoms that we have today. Become a part of the BVL team and help support our nation's veterans.
BVL.org for more info. And one thing that was cool in that video, I'm not sure how many people caught it, Jimmy, you know, we both been fortunate to do some BVL events. Of course, you know, Bill Moore sponsors an event. And one of the things we talk about when we talk with BVL, those 3D goggles you saw in part of that video, that's something that they've been really big on the last couple of years. A lot of money, a lot of donations go into those goggles. And I don't know if you've heard the story, but what those are.
I haven't, actually.
Is, you know, veterans can go back to, you know, Vietnam or wherever they were just through the goggles. people that haven't been there in 40, 50 years, they can kind of go back to where
Really?
they were through the goggles. And there was even a story they talked about someone, they showed him their childhood home. They hadn't been to in over 50 years through those little VR goggles. So a really cool thing they're doing with veterans with those. I encourage everybody to check it out, bvl.org for more information.
It's a great charity, no doubt. PBA is a big supporter of them, no doubt.
And you'll see on all the shows, salute to veterans there by VBL, or by BVL, excuse me, every PBA show the last couple seasons.
PBA Hall of Famer Johnny Petraglia, a big supporter of that.
Big
And
supporter.
he does, he's got some great stories talking about military and bowling. And A.J. Johnson starting out with a triple in front of us here. Nick Pate, not great on this pair. My boy Minnow over here on 12. I ever tell you the story why we call him Minnow?
Well, yeah, he's the son of Guppy.
But he has a brother. So what do you think his brother's name is? You got Guppy, Minnow,
Well, it's not trout.
Tadpole.
There we go. Team fish right there.
And he's been called that since he was a little kid. I'm going to tell you a story about Kyle Troop. Last week when he split in the 10th frame in Springfield and was heartbroken, he walked over and signed autographs for 20 or 25 minutes. We need more guys like Kyle Troop in the PBA, to give back to the people. And he understands, how people care about him and things like that. And, he gets it. Jason Belmonte, same way. He gets it. E.J. Tackett, he's just one of the guys. He'll walk into the crowd and talk to the people. And, the one thing about PBA, look how close you can be. You can be right on top of them. It's the closest you can be to any sport that there is. So you get a chance to come out to an event, sign up for Bowl TV. You get the chance to see it. And if it's coming to your town, go out and watch it.
Absolutely. A lot of times it's free to come in and watch. Other times maybe $5 or $10.
A couple bucks, it's cheap.
Yeah, nothing to it.
But I'm going to tell you, you're going to be amazed of how good they are. Yeah, I don't think there's any other sport, Craig, that you can pay $5 to come in and watch the greatest players on earth do anything. You get to watch the guy that revolutionized bowling right now. Think about it. Who revolutionized two-handed bowling?
Jason Belmonte.
Jason Belmonte. Oscar Palermo's in there too. But, you could come and watch Jason. And, all the kids now, probably 80% of the kids now, that bowl are two-handed. Go out and take a chance. Come out and watch. Some big events available.
And if you're in the Reno area, Reno, Carson City, Northern Nevada, come out to the National Bowling Stadium in the next couple of weeks. Plenty of room, putting up massive bleachers, bringing the fans, support these players. And just a reminder, we are live here on Bowl TV as well as our live looking out on YouTube. We hope everybody's enjoying what they're seeing out there. And if you are liking that, go to bowltv.com, subscribe. I'm Craig Elliott with Jim Callahan, PBA Hall of Famer Tom S. on the call here tonight. Mike Aulby, Nevada Classic. Going to have a game to go after Game 5 is finished. We'll cut to the top 16. And this live looking will stop at the end of this game, and we're hearing some more applause going on. What are they rooting for now? Keplinger just made a nice split conversion. Little replay. Is he going to make it again?
Slid it right over. Look at that. That's big, too. He had an open before that. He had a split right before that, so saved himself from having open. The guy I was just talking about. The guy that revolutionized the new way to bowl that a lot of people do, Jason Belmonte. He's got a 5-bagger right here. He's worth the price of admission just to come and watch him, in my opinion. I'm a little biased, but he's there's a 6-bagger. Don't be shocked he doesn't shoot 300 this game.
Well, the first two-hander I saw in person was Anthony Simonson, like 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
First time I ever saw, Belmo was out, right? But in person, Simon was the first one I saw. I was like, oh, okay, that's impressive. Yeah, I can't do that.
I told you, I've given probably close to 50 lessons in the last month and a half, and I've given 2 people that bowl one-handed lessons. It's the way it goes right now. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you right now, Jason Belmonte could bowl 300 this game. I've seen it. All you people watching YouTube, you know what?
I don't think
miss it.
I'm not going to bet against that happening.
No, I've called it before and he done it.
Yeah, Andrew cheated
happened?
over a little bit too much there, and I gotta keep an eye on what's going on here. Is Stipich, did he really go gutter, or do we have another withdrawal there? Hayden was the number after that last game as well, a plus 589.
Wow.
Yeah, guys, I'm down here, and Hayden did withdraw. Trying to figure out why, and if I get that answer, I'll let you know.
All right, thank you, Tom. We've got Tom right down there in the mix with all the players in the settee area, getting us all this great information. Yeah, Stipich 225, 236, 247, 183. Nothing. We watched him throw some shots that game. Nothing looked.
He had to
off.
pull a muscle or something that he couldn't bowl anymore. If you're sick, you know, it didn't randomly all of a sudden get worse. It's got to be he pulled a muscle or something. And I'm sure Tom, I'll tell you what, Tom's like a bloodhound. He'll snoop it right out and he'll give us the answer.
We will get that information.
I told you.
Yeah, he just simply wasn't feeling good. Not injured or anything, but just feeling a little ill, and decided that he couldn't bowl anymore.
Wow, he only had one game to go. He had a game and a half to go. And he was in the number?
Well, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was the number after going to this game.
Wow.
Obviously, 183, and then, you know, he must have something really hit him hard. So, yeah, he wants to.
He had to feel a little worse than a little ill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So Darren Tang is the beneficiary now. After 4, he will be the number at plus 583. And there's D Tang with possible 280 this game.
One thing that you who know Darren Tang, look, there's something a little different that he's doing right now. He's fully all into bowling two-handed now instead of bowling one. And if he wins a title, he will be the first PBA player ever to win a title one-handed and two-handed. And you know what? I know how hard D works. I don't doubt him one bit.
Yeah, we've seen him do it for a while. We actually talked to him at the RPI a little bit, and again, seeing him do it in person, you know, he's got a ton of videos out there on YouTube, very big following. But it looks good, though, right? I mean, you've seen other players. Let me try two-handed. Okay, it looks okay, but Darren, it looks pretty good. I mean, he's very athletic, you know, solid to begin with, always
working out all the time. He's always got his guys. When we practice in Vegas, he practices where I give a lot of lessons, and he's always got like gym-looking guys around him practicing with him, and you know, he's got he's all in. He's working on the strength, and you know, he's always stretching. I was talking about his forearm. He's just an athlete, you know what I mean? And people love him. It's crazy every time a group of people comes in to Gold Coast in Vegas is where he practices. When they see him, they go crazy. It's like they saw the Beatles or something. Oh, can I get a picture with Darren Tang? Oh, can I? Look, it's Darren Tang. I see it all the time. It's unbelievable.
Well, I'm glad you know. So I'm going to the gym, too, because I practiced with Darren a couple times when I was in Vegas over at GameWorks. We used to practice over there. So
yeah.
Thanks for noticing we all go to the gym. Maybe not.
They got an ice cream store called Jim?
Yes, I'm not telling you where it is, though. Can't give away my secrets. Jason Belmonte, front 7, looking for front 8.
I'm calling 300 this game.
On lane camera here.
I'm calling 300. I called it 2 frames ago. Oh, listen to the crowd. Oh.
Yeah,
What's that?
You just put too much pressure on him, Jimmy. Oh, Callan says I guess 300.
By the way, he's going to bowl 300. Okay. Let me ask you a question. If I said to you, Belmo has the front 7, is he going to bowl 300? Are you going to doubt him?
I will not doubt him. I will wonder, because we've only seen one this week, right? We talked about that a little bit ago. You know, a lot of high scores, but only the 1-300. But absolutely, you're not going to doubt the guy.
He's one of the greatest finishers ever of games.
Oh, yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, where he'll bowl 270, 300. And
got to push a little.
What are you talking about? That's 10 back. Stay out of the way.
Helping him.
My man's
Helping
bowling
you.
300. I don't need your help with him. By the way, I've been with him since he started on tour. I know my man.
You need an ice cream?
What's that?
You need an ice cream?
I can't eat ice cream.
No. Jacob Buttriff. All right. bouncing back a little bit too. 270 is possible for Buttriff. He is in 15th right now, plus 596. Buttriff had that 149 game number 2. Trying to erase that.
Oh, 2-8-10 made over there on lane 2. I don't know who. Oh, it was Sean. Very cool looking.
So we've seen one off the right side for the 2-8-10 and one off the left side as well.
Yep. If you notice, though, unlike some other people in this booth, I won't mention no names, Craig, I go out on a limb and I take a chance with it. Calling the guy who's going to bowl 300 in the 6th frame, that's an aggressive statement. But I have confidence in him that he's going to do it.
There it is. Oh, he did it the Mika way. 2 into the 10, into the 8.
Great job by Chase right there. That's super cool that he caught that. Prather's making a big run tonight. If he bowls 300, can I get a "you're right, Jim, and I'm wrong"? How about that? I'll say it to you if that's our bet. You're right, I'm wrong. By the way, that's a big stretch to say 300 from the 6th frame. I won't make you do it. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet? That's how confident I am.
I will tell you, you were right.
No, you're not comfortable with that. But you tell me what you want to bet. I'm that confident. My man's going to bowl 300 this game. Tom, are you doubting him?
I just told you I didn't disagree with you.
Tom, you doubting it? I called it in the 6th frame.
Don't bring me into the middle of the Valentine's quarrel here.
I'm just asking a question. You doubt that he can bowl 300 this game?
Oh, he can bowl 300 every time he picks up the bowling ball.
That's what I'm saying.
Is he going to do it this game? I don't know.
So.
We've seen one.
I think
Thank you, Tom.
We're getting ready to see 2. And you know what? YouTube's getting a chance to see it for free, too.
East Coast Jimmy in the booth here in game number 5.
Stating a fact, my man.
Belmo looking for number 9, lane level.
Yo, get the hit. Come on, catch a hit there. That was not one of his better efforts on the front 8.
Yeah, probably not.
You're right, I'm wrong, Craig.
But Belmo in 11th at plus 680. He's going to move up to the 700 range. Yeah, he could possibly maybe move up towards the show or even closer.
That was not one of his better efforts there.
Breaking news, Craig got something right.
Wow.
I wasn't betting against him. I was thinking.
Here, look, I'm going to, you know how you hit that button and you make the goofy sounds? I'm going to make it. News flash. Craig's right.
But, Tom, I think, you heard what I said. We've only had one. Right?
Tom coming in the booth firing shots. You know what? You got to have fun when we're doing it. You know what? We have a good time here. He missed one of these earlier. I said, oh. If you notice, one thing that's interesting, at the end of last year, Jason backs up his spares on the right side of the lane now. He used to be just right up the back. Now he backs it up so that it won't, because he was having an issue where the Belmo balls were tipping a little bit on the back part of the lane. So if you notice, he's changed how he shoots the 3-6-10 and things like that. He's backing it up all the time.
And you talk about going dead straight. You see that bouncing over the finger holes when he does that too.
Can I tell you a cool story about his spare ball? You'll like this one.
Sure.
Am I allowed? Thanks. So Jason, his whole life, his father would never buy him a spare ball. So when he used to go away to bowl these tournaments all over the world, he would grab a house ball off the rack, just that had regular holes in it. He got home, he made all his spares. He said, Dad, will you buy me a spare ball? Never bought him a spare ball. He finally bought him one. He put grips and everything in it. He hated it. You know what he did? His now is actually 31 30-seconds holes without any grips in it. It's like a house ball, the ones that he used.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. All because Dad said, I'm not going to buy you a spare ball. But it ended up where, he likes the feel of it. He never grabs it. It just rolls off his hand. But, yeah, you see it has big holes in it.
Well, he didn't have to worry about buying a spare ball, and if he does, I think he could afford one with the career he's had on the PBA Tour.
But I think that's interesting. You don't see very many people use balls without grips in them. I think the whole trajectory of his whole career has been different. You know, when he was a little kid, all the people in Australia said, man, don't do that. You got to bowl one-handed. You can't do that. You know what? His father said, hey, you know what? If that's the way you want to bowl that way. Think about how bowling
bowl that way, but I'm not going to buy you a spare ball.
But think about this. If he changed to one-handed, is bowling the way it is now?
No. 100% no.
I think Tom might have an opinion here.
I don't know, Jimmy. I mean,
that's an interesting question, isn't it?
Osku,
correct.
You know, Osku was the first one.
Correct.
Over here, you
The
know,
first
he
US
made the U.S. Open show.
First one on tour,
at 19, wasn't he? Or maybe even younger than that. So
Mountain Valley Bowl.
But not the resume that Belmo's been able to put together.
You know, and many people thought back then that Osku was way more talented than Jason.
I was one of them.
Jason's put in the work, you know, and Belmo actually got to be Belmo when he learned how to slow his ball speed down and keep that rev rate up. And that's the one thing that Osku never did. Osku was always fire it, fire it, fire it. So, boy.
Is Osku as dynamic? I mean, Belmo has results, but is he as friendly as Jason is? You know, I mean, as engaging where around the world he is, but I think it would have been a little different. Oscar's a great bowler.
Yeah,
he's got a major title too.
Right, and to me, he is, you know, off the lanes. You know what I mean? I think a little bit on the lanes. You know, not as, you know. Yeah, from my dealings with Osku, and I roomed with Osku for a year, is he's there for the fans just as much as Jason. Now at this point in his career, he probably doesn't have as many fans.
He doesn't have the flair that Jason has. Right. Just from where he's at where he lives in the world.
Right.
Finnish people are not known as. I mean, they have stone faces a lot of times.
Mika.
They're very. You look at them, they're not sure, but it would be an interesting question. Packy Henriksen. Like we said, Packy doesn't, and again, that Jesper factor, where Packy went there, the front's hook a little more, the backs are a little tighter. Can't get his ball to go through the pins, and I'm not trying to act like a know-it-all. I just seen it so many times, you know, and guys struggle with those. The only guy it usually doesn't affect is Buttriff. You know, I mean, he can get it to go through it. His rev rate's a little higher, but.
A good game for Jesper, though. Can get to 270s again. Smallwood 210 with 2 more strikes. EJ Tack at 242, probably going to maintain that lead. Great question, though, Jimmy, on where would we be today with two-handers if Belmo never came out here?
It's interesting.
Great question. I think we would still have two-handers, just not as many. But something we can table and revisit for a great discussion on another day.
I'm all in for it. Tom has an interesting viewpoint, rooming with Osku. You know, and I had Osku on staff for a long time. When I first saw him when he made the show at the U.S. Open in Fountain Valley, man, I was like, what is that guy doing? And you know what?
Well, something for you and our fans to think about is we'll bring this back up at another event. What about if Mark Roth never bowled?
Correct.
He was a game changer, right? Big time.
I have a picture at home. They've only been together one time other than like the league where Mark was struggling with health, where they were healthy in Columbus, and I have a picture with... I have 2 pictures that nobody ever had. My first one is Walter Ray, Earl Anthony, Mark Roth, and myself, a week before Earl passed away. Walter Ray said he'd never taken a picture with any of those other people. And then I have another one. When they were in Columbus, they were sitting in a settee area. Jason and Mark were sitting next to each other. I said, I have to have a picture with these 2 guys.
That's a cool photo.
They revolutionized bowling, those 2 guys.
Real cool photo right there. Yeah, no doubt about it. Sean Rash, 255. So Sean, where is he sitting now? He's sitting in 23rd. Remember, Sean shot 258 to get into this top 32. So with a game to go, he's going to have a chance.
Packy's going to bowl 160.
Yeah, this could be the end of the road for Packy. You know, getting in 32nd, Windsor off against Santu to make it into the field. 278, 237. Here we go, and then 206, 225, and max of a $180. And we've got Tom Hess down there with Jason Belmonte right now.
So, Jay, you've always been a closer your whole career. How big is it to bowl 279 here with 1 game to go in this total pins format?
Yeah, I mean, look, I needed that one after I shot 180 a few games earlier. So, Look, in this building, I think everyone that's bowling right now has found a few of those pairs where if your ball gets to the pocket, it just strikes at will. So I knew just got to be a little patient. I thought the game before, I bowled a really good game, but again, just didn't quite string them together. But I just wanted to stay patient. I knew if I hit a pair when my ball liked it, then every time it hit the pocket, it was going to strike. And you just got to believe you're going to hit that pair more often than you won't. And so now I got to hope that's what I'm going to do in this last game, hit that pair.
Thank you, Jay.
And just an example of what we do here on Bowl TV for you fans looking in on YouTube, we can talk to what could be the greatest bowler of all time during competition.
I'm going to tell you, Tom Hesh should get a raise because I've been around Jason. He is the most focused guy ever. I've been with him his whole career. For him to take the time to do that and have the access on Bowl TV where we can be in that settee area and get an interview with the greatest of all time, in my opinion, that's an incredible get. That's worth the price of admission right there.
So you don't wait. NBA doesn't talk to LeBron James between the third and fourth quarter.
I don't know, dude. Just usually it's coaches, isn't it?
No.
Coaches,
The answer is no. Right.
Yeah.
So we get that type of access here on Bowl TV. So with that, we do want to say thank you to everybody watching on YouTube. That wraps up game number 5. You got 2 games here for all YouTube viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the action. If you'd like to continue watching all the live coverage of this event, and of course the World Series of Bowling 16 coming up and the rest of the PBA Tour season, PBA 50, PWBA, and more, go to bowltv.com, sign up and join us there for exclusive access to the rest of the tournament and more action each and every game until stepladder finals. Expert analysis and up to date with all the latest updates. Thanks for watching, and we will roll on into game number 6 here. PBA Mike Aulby Nevada Classic, sponsored by Pilgrims.